The Scottish aren't the only that are fired up, I suppose, with the spirit of independence around the world right now. Many Americans are as well. In fact, in recent polling, up to 1 in 4 Americans want their state to secede from the United States. Here's a map of all of the states, and you'll see there the percentages in the different regions. The Southwest, the highest, with 1 out of 3 Americans wanting their state to leave. New England, the most loyal. I think that's kind of ironic. 19% wanting to leave. I imagine that's probably swayed by Maine.
Those numbers are
but anyway,
pretty much identical except for the Southwest, and I guess maybe the Southeast and the Rockies. But
I got to say, an independent Colorado would have a difficult time.
Yeah. They could defend themselves.
They could.
They could definitely defend themselves.
Take the high ground, that's for sure.
And of course, I'm imagining that most of the Southwest there is Texas. That's where those numbers are inflated. I don't know that there's a big, giant secessionist movement in, well, I guess maybe Arizona too. They, with the crazy, I don't know.
In the Northwest there are, in California as well.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the numbers.
1 in 3 Americans can't name a single branch of government.
Right,
totally. And I think 40% think we've concluded a space treaty with aliens. Right. So anything below 50%.
You'll take it?
Sean Hannity thinks we gave up too much sovereignty in that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So why don't we, really fast, we'll just break down those numbers a little bit more, see what we can find out from them. So first, you're going to see the gender difference. Men more likely to want to have their state secede from the nation. Take from that what you will. Then we also have it broken down by income category, and you'll find that the poorer you are, the more likely you are to want your state to leave the United States. And then finally, we've got a quote from the initial study. Secession got more support from Republicans than Democrats, more from right than left-leaning independents, more from younger than older people, more from lower than higher income brackets, more from high school than college grads. And of the people who said they identified with the Tea Party, supporters of secession were actually in the majority with 53%. Those bunch of traitors.
Nothing in there, nothing surprises me. That's how you would have predicted it.
Okay, so let's stop.
Yeah, it's still
here.
appreciated,
Okay.
right.
More than half of the Tea Party people would like to secede from the United States of America. So number one, that is amazing, amazing. More than half. So
More
when
than the
you
Scots do.
when you say like a blank statement, Tea Party guys. Now you can't say that. You got to be careful about what you call. In this case, more than half of the Tea Party is un-American.
That's right.
Literally, I mean. But it's the definition of being un-American when you would no longer like to be American, right? So these, as John, just said, traitors, but they are.
If you leave, you don't get to be American.
That's right.
Like they think they're going to leave, and they're like, "We'll form America. We'll be the real America."
No, we're
We're
America. Change our
America.
name if they leave.
Yeah. We're American.
We'll be
You
South
would
Canada.
be Tea Party-stan, okay? And good luck to you, brother. Yeah. But by the way, you know what happens when you leave a country? You don't get to take your Social Security and Medicare with you. Sick oops.
Yeah, we're gonna want those nukes back too.
And we get to keep the nukes. And then, by the way, if you're in the Southwest, now you got an open border with Mexico. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to move our border up to Oklahoma. Right. Yeah. We don't want any of you people crossing over.
I don't think it's that serious. I don't think that really 53% of the people believe that are in the Tea Party. I think they're just shit talking.
Yeah. They hate Obama, so they're like, "Yeah, I'll leave. I want to leave. I'll form a." And again, I think I hit on something accidentally. They're like, "Yeah, I want to leave because I want to be America." Yeah.
Okay, but it's like one of those guys who gets mad and he's like a wild, irrational guy. He gets mad at everybody in the house and he leaves in the middle of a blizzard without his coat on. And then immediately regrets that decision. And he's out in the cold like, what have I done?
You tell that story like that's an old fable that we all know.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
This is like sort of, I guess it's inherent to the DNA of our country. Obviously, we had the Civil War. That was a pretty big one. But there have been, prior to that and since the Civil War, there have been up to 100 serious attempts to form a small country within a country or on the borders. They're cataloged in a book called Lost States. Right now, there are serious campaigns that have recently failed in California to split California up into 6 different states. There's Cascadia up in the Northwest. Like there are a lot of attempps like this. Sarah Palin's husband, fan of that.
Right. I think you're being. I hear what you're saying, and it's a worthy point to make. I think you're throwing the word serious around recklessly.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
they-
that have had funding, that have attempted to actually have laws.
You're a reckless person.
Okay, that's
In fact, I would like to secede from John.
no. I'm going to secede from the rest of the table, and this does actually segment off.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
going over there.
Okay, but it is an interesting point.
Yeah.
There were serious secession efforts in 1799, 1814, and 1828. I like the obscure states we would have had if the non-serious ones had worked, right? To Ben's point. We would have had a state called Absaroka
What is that?
and Yazoo.
Really?
That sounds good.
Are we
There's no
happy
extra-
or unhappy that we don't have a state named Yazoo?
I would like
Yeah,
to
I
wish
think
you.